Welcome to the Multichain Nation. Today we have Robert, founder of Native. Thank you for joining me, Robert.
Hey, and hello everyone. Super glad to be here because yes, we have many things to say, and I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah, you're definitely doing something interesting. It's bringing yield to Bitcoin. That's not typically what Bitcoin is known for. So I want to learn more about
Mhm.
Go Native. Give us a rundown.
Yeah, absolutely. So we tackle pretty hard challenge to provide a Web3 native access to Bitcoin, and actually this is where the name comes from. Yes, Web3 native. Today, you cannot really access Bitcoin from outside, from other chains, um, in this Web3 native way. Yes, you always have to trade off one of the key properties of the Web3 world, right? So either self-sovereignty, um, permission, or a fastest execution. And I think we are the first one to meet all of these requirements to the multi-chain world, and then ship it yes to. So we are implementing it on Sui, but then yes, our goal is to leverage Axelar and actually Agoric to provide multi-chain solutions.
So to learn more about Native and how it technically works,
Mm-hmm.
is how are you bringing the Bitcoin on these other chains? So obviously, Bitcoin's known not to be very compatible. It's not like Ethereum where it's EVM compatible, or you have Cosmos where there's links to a bunch of different things, and
Mm-hmm.
Axelar obviously provides that multi-chain, cross-chain communication. So
Mm-hmm.
technically, how are you bringing Bitcoin on different chains?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we implement what we call a Bitcoin orchestrator or Bitcoin orchestration on Sui. There are many ways how you can communicate with Bitcoin. Yeah, so the most popular one is a custodian way. So you have a custody that will provide you services. Coinbase, uh, BitGo through WBTC, OKX recently. And there are more and more, yes, those let's say enterprise level solutions that can provide you the access to Bitcoin. There are good and bad parts about it, right? So good part is okay, it's an enterprise level solution, that the company is big, known. You can do institutional level agreements and contracts with them, the legal contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then the second way how you can but yes, those solutions they are not Web3 native, right? There is an enterprise that is custodying your Bitcoin. You don't have a key for that. Yes, so there is no Web3 native way how you can access that Bitcoin. Um, another solution is what um, many projects were hyped on last year. It's based on BitVM. BitVM is a mechanism how you can verify operations on Bitcoin. So it's not a virtual machine. You cannot execute a code. It is doing a verification. But there are again some issues around that, right? So it solves the sovereignty problem because you are doing it. However, it introduces other problems. Yeah. So first of all, it's optimistic. It's really hard to participate. So it's not really decentralized and is limited. So technically, like on the paper, yes, you can verify an operation. Not almost any. Yes, there is a limitation on the size of the proof and how this proof is executed. Um, some of it was solved by BitVM3, which was really the paper, the research was released 2 months ago, sorry. No, 3 months ago already. But actually there are security issues. So yes, they managed to solve some of them problems of the BitVM2 mechanism, but then, it turned out that the whole solution is not secure. Um,
That's rough.
so, so practically speaking, BitVM um, is very challenging. It's like, technically you can go to Mars. right? You can, but practically speaking, nobody did it yet. And even if someone will do it, that will be a huge mission, right? You need to do many trade-offs. And this is actually what's BitVM2. Yes, so it is possible, but you need to do many trade-offs. And to make it practical, the trade-offs that the implementations are doing are actually, again, like breaking Web3 principles.
Yep.
Yeah, so mainly, like what actually Bitcoin verifies. It doesn't verify like all the proofs. So let's say if you have Axelar bridge, Axelar is constantly verifying all the consensus from the peer blockchain. So if I use Axelar to bridge, let's say from Arbitrum to the hub, Cosmos Hub,
Mm-hmm.
then the between Cosmos Hub and Axelar there is IBC, and the whole principle of IBC is like a full light client verification. So we don't only verify the consensus, but we also verify the state proofs. And then something similar is between Axelar and Arbitrum, where we it's not using IBC, yes, but there is a whole validator set verifying firstly the state of the Ethereum, because Arbitrum settles on Ethereum, and then the execution with the Arbitrum. This is not how it works with BitVM and Bitcoin. Yeah, so it doesn't verify the all consensus of your, let's say, layer 2, because actually those are not layer 2s. It is verifying some specific transactions. And there is also a very, very, very key problem in that. So imagine that, you do an audit of your code, right? And now, so you have a big system, you have, let's say, 100 smart contracts. And I was, okay, this is the most important contract. Please do an audit this contract. I say, okay, yeah, this contract is correct. But this contract, this contract interacts with 10 other contracts. There are some other operations. And the interesting fact is that, if the other contract has a bug, that bug can basically, be, transferred to affect the key code that is not technically correct, but because of the other operation is incorrect, then, it will influence the overall behavior.
Yeah.
So this is what BitVM, practically how the BitVM2 is being implemented today. Yes, they verify only one subset without the bigger picture, making sure that the whole system is correct. And there are, like I said, many other issues related to the performance, how it's optimistic.
Yeah. So that's a lot. That's a lot of pressure on native then to keep it Web3 native, right? So how does native keep it Web3 native?
Yeah, so we technically took a step back. Instead of looking at the Bitcoin verification mechanism, that we basically make an assumption that this is never going to work efficiently. How we can do it? So the practical bridging mechanism, like I said, yes, is practically not possible in the Bitcoin to do a secure bridging. And you guys should know, because I guess Axelar is one of the biggest bridge. I guess you had many sessions how you can handle Bitcoin. All right. So
yeah, it's a lot of money there. That's why people want to be able to bridge it.
Everyone wants to, right? I'm 100% sure that you guys were trying to do a research how you can handle Bitcoin, but the problem is that the existing solutions, like I said, they have a trade-offs. So you need to trade off some of your security models. So we took the step back, and we are working with DeWallet Labs. That's an Israeli security company, actually, we're a spin-off from them. And they made that research to create the first ever non-collusive MPC mechanism. So, and this is very key here, right? There's technically no bridge between native and Bitcoin, and we implemented on Sui. So the way how it works is that, okay, from Bitcoin to Sui, we have the whole system to mirror the Bitcoin state on Sui through permissionless decentralized proving system. So everyone can prove anything, like any fact that happens on Bitcoin, and we are verifying it. And then based on that fact, okay, we can, we issue the state proof. and you can claim something. Yeah, so let's say if I did a transaction on Bitcoin, you can claim on a Sui smart contract some effect of that transaction. Let's say that was payment. I paid from my address to your address on Bitcoin, and then you provide a proof. Our system verifies it, and now you can claim that proof, that the verification of that proof from Sui system, let's say to a Sui smart contract to finalize something. Yes, let's say, I don't know, proceed some deeds, or I don't know, maybe that was a real world asset purchase, and now we are transferring a certificate of that. And so everything can be Web3 native. So that's only one way to go, right? Like something happens to Bitcoin, and now we can take an effect on it on Sui. Okay. Going back, we always want to to interact with Bitcoin, right? Not only one way, but two ways. So for that, we are using that non-collusive MPC. And the way how it's set up, it's really key, right? Because there is no single party that can influence the system. And there is that's like a concept actually of a traditional NPC. But on top of that, you have an authority. So in the traditional NPC systems, like in Near or, in banking or the enterprises or internet computer, the NPC is designed in a way that, you are out of the game.
Yeah.
Right. So, and the way also how the NPC works in contrast to blockchain, yes, is that it's not transparent. So, one of the key principle of blockchain is that, you can verify operations.
Yep.
And you can identify that some operation is wrong. With this traditional NPC, you cannot do it.
It's all behind a black
So technically, yeah, so technically, like those NPC mechanisms implemented by internet computer or any, it's a black box. And if they do something malicious, okay, you will see the effect that your Bitcoin is lost, gone. But then you are not able to say that that's indeed you that requested that transaction, or maybe the NPC operators misbehaved. And we are solving it because now there's this new cryptography, yes, that we use, that we were working on, that you have to always you are part of the NPC procedure. So like with this legacy NPC system, let's call them, you are out of the game. Yes, you don't participate in the process. Here you participate in the process, so you have to co-sign, and it has to be visible.
Is that where the user's yield comes in from participating?
No. It's a good question. So native technically is that interoperability protocol. So we're more in the interop world, like Axelar. But we concentrate really on implementing that, what we call this orchestration mechanism, and this MPC mechanism on Sui. And then using that on top of that, because we can handle all the Bitcoin logic on Sui, and with that orchestrator I mentioned, yes, we can then do some dispatching. So we can dispatch some Bitcoin requests, and then send it to a DeFi protocols, or bridge it over to other chains. Yeah. So let's say I have a Bitcoin on Bitcoin. I request that, okay, I want to stake this Bitcoin, I don't know, on EigenLayer on Ethereum. The way how it will work. Yeah, so I will make a specific transaction with encoded instruction in the OP return. That's a way how people are today trying to put a payload to your transaction, and that's handled and being verified on our system. And then we see, okay, yes, this user actually wants to use his Bitcoin on EigenLayer. Yes, then we will get that, put it on the Axelar with that instruction, and then our Axelar is handling the interchange steps between here Sui and Ethereum, and through that you have the message passing. Yes, we can then push it further, right, to the Ethereum, dispatch it then on the Ethereum, and then load it to the EigenLayer. The next level is how we can program it efficiently. So here is where the Agoric partnership comes with. Yeah, so we have also a strong partnership with Agoric. Agoric It's leveraging also, Axelar and Axelar message passing, yes, to do the chain orchestration. And this is how those things will play together. Yeah, so we provide the leg for a Bitcoin. Then, here Axelar will provide like the other legs to the multi-chain world, and Agoric, how we can program it efficiently.
Now, technically, that sounds extremely complicated. So, as a normal user, it's not easy to grasp and understand everything that's going on in the back end because it's multiple different protocols interacting with each other, communicating,
Correct.
making sure that the Bitcoin transaction was legitimately sent, and you can use that state to verify what has happened and then speak to another chain and interact over there. As an end user, someone who's interested in, I was in Bitcoin since 2009. All I have is 100 Bitcoin. Look at me, I'm super rich. But they, for some reason, are not interested in fiat. And they truly believe in Bitcoin's ethos of being new money. But they recognize that there's other Web3 applications that they can interact with, saying signing some type of certificate like a deed or buying a car. I don't know, whatever they need. So what would that user experience be? I'm a Bitcoiner, but I want to buy something on a different blockchain or sign something on a different blockchain.
Yeah, absolutely. So now let's go to the users. Yes, we've been talking about the interop level. And by the way, it's like if you had like a 2009 level of Bitcoin, then probably have more than 100.
Well, I've heard many stories of people having more than 100, but then losing it or using it because people have sold like hundreds of Bitcoin when it was like, it was $100. I bought it at $5. At that time, you feel like
20x,
that's a
20x.
great investment.
That's a good return.
But in today, it's hard to hindsight is 2020. But
I always tell that it's always better to do 2x than to lose everything. Yes, if you invested 10,000, it's better to cash out at 20,000 than lose everything.
Yep, it's hard to remember that.
Or get some pennies.
It's why that's ancient wise wisdom.
Right. So here's where the build comes in. Yeah. So build is the user level application that we are building on top of that interop system, where we can make it easy for the user. Yeah. So this is the second paradigm, single click Bitcoin yield. So you have your Bitcoin, or maybe you don't have even a Bitcoin. You have $1,000 USDC. Yes, on one of the chains, and you want to get an exposure to Bitcoin. Now, yes, with that interop mechanism, yes, that combines different solutions. We can actually now, with the advancement that the ecosystem has built, provide a really great user-facing product. So with a one click, user can log in with any of the supported wallet and make the transaction happen. So he can go to the dashboard or one of our partner dashboards that we integrate with, and he can see, okay, yes, like this partner is like the aggregator for, Ethereum ecosystem, right? There is another partner that is aggregating on maybe on Solana ecosystem. It doesn't matter, yes? What matters is that, okay, we handle that Bitcoin part, we can do the dispatching and then leverage, other systems, how this can easily be done. And then we can source that information, show it to the user, okay, here are your opportunities. You have your Bitcoin, okay, if you want to deposit it on a Uniswap, this is like the risk level, this is like the APY. Okay, use a single click and it goes in, and under the hood there are those different blocks that are working together, yes, to make that happen. It's not easy, right? But we are already in 2025 that those things are becoming possible.
And then where is the yield, or how is the yield generated?
Yeah, so we are not generating yield ourselves, right? We provide the integrations. So, like I said, yes, we go to, let's say, one of the rows will be Uniswap. This is the Uniswap, the trading facility that generates yield. People are, trading your Bitcoin and generate a fees that is, then distributed to the liquidity providers. Same with money markets or, any DeFi protocol out there.
And I guess what was the reason you went into building native? I mean,
Hmm.
that's a difficult. It sounds like a very complicated problem, and it's kind of even hard to
Yes.
think of out of nowhere. So, what was your what was your origin story of native?
Yeah, I think we need to go back a little bit to Cosmos. So I'm originally Cosmos. I was a lead developer in Cosmos, launched two Cosmos chains. The last bigger project I was working on was the, UX money market, UMI. And part of it, I was researching and trying to have, I mean, I remember we had many discussions with Brent, the CEO, uh, how we can make, the liquidity provisioning working in the interchain wallet. Yes, we didn't really were focusing back on that days on Bitcoin. It was more, okay, how we can really leverage IBC and make those things easy.
Mm-hmm.
And that was hard. Yes. It's still not so easy with IBC, even though, there is now IBC v2. Um, but, I was spending a lot of time on that. And then I remember in one of the conferences, I was, sharing one of my new ideas. And David from D Wallet Labs told me like, oh yeah, we have this new cryptography that we are researching. It's still early on, but we have great advancements. They are working with Watzman Institute. That's one of the most world-renowned cryptography institute out there in Israel. Actually, it has their base in Israel. And we were just keep talking, following up after the conference. And I thought, okay, I think this will work to like all the other different ideas I had. And I decided to, okay, take it further on and build it as a product, as native.
Nice. Yeah, it's funny how, from my point of view, it just seems so almost out of nowhere, but from you, it's a very slow process, iterative way of building some products, some amazing, useful product and protocol that people will start to use, and it's kind of like new, more so what I've heard from other people doing, especially in the cross chain world. A lot of it is the newer blockchains or design blockchains that are meant to be compatible, like Ethereum,
Mm-hmm.
and like they have so many L2s, and then you have Sway who are trying to also become a more cross communicative blockchain, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously Axelar who just brings it all together. But Bitcoin has always been that outlier, just hanging out on the side, doing its own thing, and it's exciting to bring it in to the
True.
entire
Yes. So
crypto.
that was this, like, all narrative of the Bitcoin Renaissance. If you look at the history, the Bitcoin was not, people were not in it. So, we have this, different phases in blockchain, right? Ethereum, programmable assets. People were, it was like the first chain where you can at scale actually issue your own asset,
Mm-hmm.
program it efficiently. Of course, now from the perspective, we have much better solutions, right? But, 2016, 17, 18, and 20, you didn't have any other option. So this could really create a strong ecosystem of your own assets. Solana took it to the next level with the meme coins, with a fast, mass market, how you can create a mass market with this principle. Um, yes, but none of them was really from the beginning kind of trying to target Bitcoin,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the target was, okay, let's create the ecosystem, good ecosystem where you can program the assets or issue new assets, like US dollar from companies like Tether or Circle. But there was not an internal focus. Okay, let's target Bitcoin. So it didn't really get much attraction. Then there were other companies trying to build some narrative around it, but I haven't experienced that they did a good push, strong push. So there was for a moment there was a trust protocol, trust TBTC that were trying to make that happen with like a more marketing push.
Yeah, there's
WBTC, obviously it's there for a while, but again, I don't see that they were trying to build a bigger community around it.
yeah, wrap Bitcoin just being a wrapped Bitcoin, simply put, is that. And then same with
Yeah.
Coinbase launching their own CBBTC, so they're having their own
So those
custodial
are those.
held. Yeah,
Yeah, that creates also the fragmentation, because now you have a CBBTC Bitcoin, you have a CBBTC Bitcoin, you have SBBTC Bitcoin, you have MBTC, you have many of them. Then there are many protocols actually in Cosmos, like from I think pstake, right? Persistent, they try to do like intent-based mechanism how you can swap between those different versions of Bitcoins. But this is just yet another custody-based Bitcoin, and
exactly.
and yeah, we are doing something new here.
So now that Native is, developing, progressing, you have the single click yield generating
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin that anyone can use. What do the people have to look forward to next for Native?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we don't have it as a single click yet. We already have like the architecture. We have something in the work, but it's not still useful for the user. Yeah, so we've been working hard on having the proving system working. That's what we released in April, end of April. Then adding the user layer. It took us a while. Yes, mainly also because we've been like really focusing on the backend. We started looking at the UX only a bit later. So we released the first version of the UX in June. Now working on a testnet v2. The testnet v2, what it introduces, yes, is the centralized proving mechanism. Before it was more like centralized scripting. Now it's decentralized. So yeah, there is a completely new version being that we will release.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the version that we are comfortable actually. So we comfortable yes to go multi-chain with. The first version, yes, we were thinking already to demo it because we got this push from Axelar. Okay, let's do it. Let's make it. But like I said, there were many things that we wanted to release. And our team was not that big. Now we are growing the team.
Nice.
So yeah, the things are moving much faster
Yeah.
once we proved all the things that we built. Yeah. So what the user can expect. We are finalizing the audits to get mainnet ready. We are looking for the mainnet later in Q4. So targeting end of October, November, beginning somewhere in November, and then yes, we will put all. So once this will be done, users can easily use their Bitcoin on Sui, and then use bridging to deploy it further. And since from then, yes, we will put most of our efforts to the build mechanism. So, like really orchestrating that
Nice. I mean,
and make it easy for the user.
that's always a key goal, is make it easy for the user. It's like so much technical things, but then if it's easy for the user,
Yeah.
it's generally what they see
So,
as.
like from the release date, from the mainnet release, we will have all the infra, and we are already actually testing it. That you can easily just use on Sui,
Nice.
right? So the token, right? But then like the full orchestration mechanism that I was describing at the beginning is there's still a lot of work to do. Yes, to have that top user experience, and that's definitely already our priority. If there is any team or anyone like motivated to work on that, yes, please contact me. This is definitely that. There are you guys like Axelar builders, building some additional functionality on the Axelar level, right? On the Axelar, the customization on Axelar, that's definitely something very interesting. That yes, we can integrate with and grow the ecosystem together.
Thank you so much, Robert, for sharing Native and how you're developing, how you're progressing. And I'm sure if anyone is interested in supporting Native, gonative.cc is the domain that you can find.
Correct.
And yeah, thank you. And we're excited to see how you
I'm
progress.
really looking forward that given that Axelar has a lot of institutional approach, yes, now when we power it with Bitcoin, we'll finally unlock together the Bitcoin on those DeFi chains like Ethereum, like Arbitrum, and so on.
Yeah. People are excited for that because there's so much wealth in Bitcoin too. So it's got large volume, large market cap.
We will do it.
Thank you.
Thank you.